What's up, YouTube? I'm the Nice One, and today is Friday, at least the day I'm recording this, and I'm coming at you with the second part of that modeling video that we were doing. Last time, if I remember correctly, originally we created the base model, and then after that we created a lot of the clothing and armor that would kind of differentiate the base model from other characters. So we're just going to continue doing that, adding more details, more accessory pieces, and then probably adding the hair to finish up this type of modeling before maybe moving on to texture painting, and we'll see how far we take this model. But yeah, let's continue. So looks like we got if I remember correctly, we got a good clothing, some pants, belt, and a nice vest going on. I think what I want to do is give this character some riding boots, some nice boots to kind of go along with the medieval feel we got here. So in order to do that, let's start by creating let's create a cube as a poly primitive. Yeah, let's do that. Let's position it right around here and let's scale it around. So kind of like what I've always been saying, you want to start off with like a really basic shape. Yeah, you want to start off with a basic shape of your model before going into too much detail. That way you don't spend too much time finessing and then finding out it doesn't fit or something's messed up. So let's start here and let's make sure our object X is good, and let's put a line of symmetry down the middle, and then we'll add a edge loop right here, and then we'll go space, slide edge, and we'll drag it down to about, I'd say here is probably good because that's where I want the foot to jut out. And then you know what, we'll add a few more edge loops right around here. I think that'll look good. And let's add one actually here because we know that we're gonna have to kind of round out this shape. So we'll go edge select. Let's bring this one out a tiny bit. Yeah, perfect. And then maybe we'll rotate it in like that. Awesome. Okay, yeah, that's looking good. Actually, let's select, let's do that again, sorry. We'll bring this out, and then actually what we'll do is we'll rotate all of these edges. Okay, great. And so let's rotate this in. Awesome. Okay, that looks awesome. Let's bring this one out a tiny bit. Maybe this as well. And then we'll rotate this in a tad, and we'll actually do the same over here. Like that, and then bring it out. Awesome, 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 awesome. And for the heel, how about we select here? No, how about we select here and let's just do a small extrusion and then scale it down. Nope. Scale down these extruded faces. Then, yeah, let's do that. Probably push it out to about here. Maybe bring it in a tiny bit so it doesn't look too odd. There we go. There we go. Nice. Okay, cool. So we got a nice little kind of heel going on back there. It's like this. Maybe raise it up a tiny bit. And then, you know what we could do actually? Let's go face. Select this and this. And let's see if we flatten this out a bit, that might even out with the heel a bit more so it doesn't look too awkward. Yeah, that's helping, I think. And then edge, we'll go here, pull this out, maybe pull this out so it's more rounded. And then let's go like that. And then rotate it a tiny bit more. Okay, great. Sweet. Okay, cool. So we got a nice little heel going on there. And now let's extrude out from here. Control E. Let's pull this out. Yeah, okay, great. Nice. We got a little boot thing going. It's very similar, if I remember correctly, it's very similar to how we actually created the original legs, to be honest with you. So a lot of it is just kind of following a similar process, except this time you're kind of you're just making a boot, basically. I don't know how else to say it. know, this edge here is looking kind of weird. Not sure how I feel about that. So let's bring it back. Position it back here. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I messed up before. This is a little smoother, a little cleaner. Okay, great. So now you got like this low poly kind of, frankly, it's kind of an ugly looking boot, if I'm not gonna lie to you. But we'll smooth that out a tiny bit more. Maybe bring out some of the faces. Make it, there we go. Flatten that out. Rotate it a tiny bit. Nope, I want it to go like this. Bring it out. Great. So make sure you always double check what it looks like when you smooth preview. It's because like this it might look okay, but this might look kind of weird. I kind of want his boots to actually be a little bit taller. So let's bring this up a smidge. Yeah, it'll be like, awkwardly enough, he'll have like thigh-high riding boots. And I stand it. Okay, let's go bring this in. Maybe bring this in a bit. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, sweet. That looks not too bad. I think I need to... I feel like this is looking really bulky for some reason. And I wanted these boots to be a little more, like a little slimmer. Yeah, okay. So let's see how it looks when it's smooth preview. Okay, what I need to do is I need to add an edge ring here to smooth that out. And then let's slide this edge loop a tiny bit so that it's a bit cleaner break there. Let's go back into here, and you know what? Let's start adding a couple of bevels. So I want to bevel here. I want to bevel here. Make sure we select all the right edges. Let's go edit mesh bevel. Let's bring down the fraction. Maybe bring it to 1. Yeah, in a segment of 2. Perfect. See how that looks? Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. That's looking good. Let's add a bevel right at the bottom here so that it's kind of a clean edit mesh. Let's add a bevel. Yeah, perfect. Maybe 0.1 with a segment of 2. There we go. Cool. Nice. Okay, that's looking better. Let's add, how about we bevel this as well? I think that would be helpful. Edit, bevel. Oh, you know what? I got another idea. Instead of beveling that, what we'll do is we'll add an edge loop. So let's add an edge loop here. We'll go edit mesh and we'll slide that edge. Mesh tools. Let's slide that edge right up to here. Creating edge loops is pretty much what beveling does. So if you ever find yourself in an awkward position where the bevel, like right there, wasn't working for you, perhaps try edge loops. That might actually help a little bit. Let's add an edge loop right here. And let's select these 3. And let's actually slide it up to right beside here because I want to bevel this. Perfect. Oh, nope. And then let's select this edge. Make sure we're in edge mode, select this edge. Let's add, yeah, great. So that's how, okay, great. There we go. Now we got a bit of a pseudo bevel right there. Okay, awesome. Let's do one more, like maybe here. I want to make sure I only select the front facing edges. Yeah, I only want to select the front facing edges. So let's go Shift, Edit Mesh, Bevel. Let's add one segment. There we go. Okay, great. Got some nice riding boots going on right here. I can dig it. And you know what? I think I should add an edge loop right here so that the bevels. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Okay, perfect. So we got that it kind of looks like it covers over this boot. I like it. Okay, great. That's looking good. That's looking good. Good. You know what? we bevel this as well? Let's see if beveling this will help. Kind of like what I've always been saying to you guys, like whenever I make these models, I kind of just problem solve along the way, right? It's not like I'm following any particular not tutorial, but like not like I'm following any particular blueprint of how to do this exactly. So don't be afraid to experiment, you know? Don't be afraid to kind of play around, see what works. Okay, let's bevel this. I'm trying to make these, the reason I'm adding all these bevels is because I want these boots to look a bit sharper than just kind of your typical like cloth clothing, to have a bit more, so that it matches a little nicely with the vest we made up here. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good right now. I think I want to add another edge, maybe right around here. And let's slide that puppy right there. So it's kind of like a steel toe cap. Nope. Let's go edge, and then we'll go bevel that. Awesome. Okay, great. We got a nice little boot. We got a nice looking boot right here. Okay, sweet. It's looking good. Go back to this. Okay, so we got a nice boot going on right here. I'll probably add more details later, but I just want to make sure I got something I'm happy with at the moment. So let's start positioning it where we want to eventually have it in the end. So let's go like that. Okay. Maybe drop it down a tiny bit so that it covers the foot. We might have to expand it a tiny bit. I'll bring it in a tiny bit. And then we'll rotate this. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so let's position this a little farther up, and then let's scale it out. There we go. I'm just trying to get it so that there's not too many intersecting polys. What you can eventually actually do to kind of cheat this is basically, once you have it in your way, you can kind of merge all these meshes, like change the way they, like basically merge them so that you don't actually have these intersecting polys. But right now, because I'm making these assets as kind of modular, I like being able to position and then I'll adjust the mesh accordingly later. So what I'll do actually here at this point is let's fix up these pants so they look more appropriate to what we're doing. And then let's scale it up. So maybe move it in here. Okay, great. That looks good. This in here like that. And then let's scale this up. Maybe rotate it a tiny bit. And then let's scale it up this way. Basically, I'm trying to make it look like the pants actually sit into the boot. Let's go. Yeah, okay, cool. Twist this down, maybe twist it a little bit like that. Great. And scale it down. Bring it down like this. Okay, great. Nice. Okay, so it looks like we got some pants that are fitting into our little model here. And then we'll pull these out so that it's not too much bulge. Okay, nice. There we go. Okay, there we go. Peachy. Okay, cool. So I think we still need to kind of scale this a bit so that it covers the leg more appropriately and that the leg is actually properly inside the boot. There we go. Awesome. Okay, great. There we go. We got a nice little boot going on here. Okay, cool. Cool. We got a nice little boot. Honestly, what you could also do is just kind of take this, select the face, and actually bring it in if you got these little weird tweaks. Because you want to try and avoid too much overlapping planes. Ultimately, what you can also end up doing is deleting parts of the base mesh that actually aren't being shown behind the clothing. You know what I mean? But again, because I'm making this in a more modular fashion, it helps to kind of overlay things on top of each other. Anyway, let's continue. So what I'll do, I'm good with this boot right now. Maybe I actually, you know what? This is what I'll do. Mesh. Let's combine. This is what I'll do actually. I'll take this mesh right here and we'll go Shift D to duplicate and we'll bring it down here. And we will scale this. Scale it appropriately so that it's a nice little kind of detail around our boot. And then just position it here, maybe rotate it a tiny bit more, scale it in this way, maybe bring it down, rotate it this way, scale it out. Nope, wrong scale. Scale it out that way. There we go. Okay, awesome. Nice. We got a nice little belt kind of hanging around our... Oh, we probably don't need this. Nice little ring hanging around our boot to give it a little more detail. What I'll do actually, I'll shift and then shift double click, shift double click, shift double click. That way I can select multiple faces connected in a particular loop. And let's bring it in this way. And how about we scale it up a tiny bit? Nope. How about we scale up the entire thing, not just those faces? Bring this back. Awesome. Okay, I like how this is looking so far. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yes, sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. That's looking, it's looking not too bad. Not too shabby. And then, you know, let's just take these faces and adjust them, take them in a tiny bit. Just so that it's not too much overlapping polygons. Okay, great. Now we got a nice little boot going on here. I like it, I dig it. Okay, so let's take this boot and let's duplicate it and we'll bring it here and let's rotate along the Z, the Z axis, and we'll bring it out maybe about here, and then we'll rotate it also along the Y axis so that it's more in line with how the foot is oriented. This might take some jimmying to make sure everything kind of fits properly, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, cool. Okay, good, that's looking okay. Looking not too bad. So what we'll do is look for these kind of overlapping areas and we'll just take them in a tiny bit so that they don't overlap too much. Take this in a tiny bit. Amazing. Okay, amazing. So we got now we got two boots. Great. Let's duplicate this as well. We'll rotate and maybe rotate. Maybe bring this forward. Maybe a tiny bit to the side. Okay, awesome, great. So now we got some nice little boots for our guy, and I think I'm okay with how that's looking right now. I don't know if I want to make gloves for him at the moment. I think I'm okay with how it's shaped. You know what? Maybe what we'll add is maybe one more detail. So it's a pretty simple one. So let's do this. Let's create a poly cube. Bring out the cube to the front. Let's scale it so it's really flat. And bring it up. And then scale it so it's really, yeah, like that. Flatter. And then bring it down here. Okay. And then let's take this in. Then what we'll do is I'll take this edge. Nope. want this one, I'll take this edge, we'll bring it in like that, do this edge and this edge, and we'll scale it down. Amazing. Okay, great. And then how about we add an edge loop down the center again, just so that we always maintain our line of symmetry. Perfect. And we'll go face, select these faces and bring them back so that they look like they're kind of folding a tiny bit. And yeah, great. Now we got a nice little belt clasp for our belt, for our vest. So let's duplicate, we'll bring it up here, maybe rotate this a tiny bit, bring it back so it's more appropriately positioned. Duplicate this, bring it down, bring it up, maybe rotate this forward a tiny bit. There we go, so it's properly positioned. And let's go one more for good measure. There we go, nice. Okay, great. So it looks like we got a nice little medieval villager person with some nice riding boots, a nice vest, cool belt, some nice clothing like an undershirt and everything. Is this? Yeah, that's 3D preview. Okay, now what I'm sure you probably are interested in is making the hair. So let's do that. So what we'll do is I'm gonna take, okay, so this is how I typically make hair. You know what? I'll just show you a simple, super simple way of making it. In case you like that kind of geometric style where each hair strand is its own type of how do I say it? Its own type of like mesh. So let's take this rectangle and then let's add an edge loop right here. Let's add one more here and maybe one down the center. Okay, let's turn on smooth 3D preview, and now let's work. We'll work in this, and then we'll start kind of shaping this out in such a way that it creates kind of like an anime style hairpiece. So let's select these. Maybe we'll scale it down so it's kind of a pointed edge. Yeah. Scale it down, scale it in. You know what we could also do technically is if we go vertex and we go target weld, we can actually target weld these vertices to the same single point so that it actually is pointed. Yeah, okay, cool. Nice. Okay. Obviously, like when you look at this thing, from like a mesh point of view, it's gonna look wild. So let's go vertex. Maybe we'll target weld a little bit more stuff so it truly is pointed. There we go. Okay, great. There we go. Awesome, perfect. So now we got a nice little hair strand going on here. Let's rotate this out so it's a little more curved, and maybe bring this out a tiny bit, and then bring this in so that it kind of curves more, if that makes any sense. I'm going, as many of you probably know, kind of as most of you guys should probably already know how my kind of style looks. But yeah, I'm gonna go for like that anime type of kind of hairstyle, like pointy strands of hair. Okay, great, that's looking good. So maybe we'll scale the entire thing. Nope. Object mode, select this. And scale the entire thing down a tiny bit, a smidge, so it's not too comprehensive. And then we'll position it where we want the hair to begin. And yeah, so we'll go here, rotate this, rotate this, rotate like that. Okay, great. Now we got a little bang, like a little hair bang. Okay, from here, what I like to do actually is I'll go vertex, and then I'll select this vertice, and then select this vertice, and actually start kind of positioning these edges to how I want so that the hair actually curves in a way that I think looks appropriate. Yeah, great. Then we can go over here. Do that. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Actually, when you're doing that vertice thing, make sure you actually turn off your symmetry, because it'll accidentally select. It'll basically just like duplicate what you're doing things. So let's make it a bit thicker. And then we'll go like that. Okay, sweet. Okay, cool. There you go. So there's this first hair strand, and basically what I end up doing after this is just kind of duplicating as I go along. So we'll go here, like this. Maybe rotate a tiny bit. Maybe rotate it like that. This, that, this. Awesome. Maybe we'll scale it up. Maybe this strand will be a bit bigger. Go like that. This. Perfect. Go vertex. Bring this. Select this and bring it down. Maybe select these and bring it down. Maybe rotate it even. Tiny bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Okay, sweet. And then we'll just continue, I'll just continue doing this, and it's pretty much the same process for each hair strand. Like, you can select multiple and duplicate those two, and then kind of speed up your process that way, but it's pretty much just make a single hair strand, and then duplicate it, and making sure that you tweak along the way as you go. So from here, I actually might just speed up the time lapse, so not, because it's pretty much me saying the same thing over and over again. So enjoy, and I'll tune back in with you at the end. Okay, so enjoy. Boom. And there we go. We got a medieval villager ranger type of guy. Yeah, so as you can see, the hair is pretty simple, straightforward to do if you just make the initial shape and then kind of modify each strand after that, duplicating here and there to fill it out and everything. Yeah, so hopefully you guys found this video hopefully you found it useful, or hopefully you're able to follow along and build a similar looking character. Yeah, we'll see what I do next from here. Maybe we'll do some texture painting, maybe some rigging. We'll see what happens next, but hopefully you guys like this character. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Yeah, just let me know what you think or any suggestions on how to improve, okay? I'll talk to you later.